All right, so I got cut off there with the time limit on the videos earlier, so I'm going to go back and just refinish this. This is the last couple of steps that you'll need to make on this video. So again, as I talked before, the issue here now is we need to have a line from someplace on this circle up to someplace on that circle, and the same thing down here. We don't really know where those intersection points are at, so we're going to use some construction geometry techniques in order to establish that and find out where those are at. So pay attention here as we go. I'm going to go back into my layers menu. Now in this case, I'm going to turn off the center line layer so I don't see those center lines. So there we go. And I'm going to activate my construction line layer. So for construction lines, constructive geometry. So these are the lines that we're going to put on there to help us find points in space, find where geometry should exist here as well. So and we're going to come back and we're going to create a construction line between centers again. So now I'm picking up on the center here, and I'm going to draw to the center up here. All right, looks like we've got some glitches here in my system, so sometimes you're going to get that depending on how many people are using the service. So again, endpoint, intersection, center, quadrant. I'm going to shut the quadrant off just to make sure I don't have some issues with that. Let's go back now to the line drawing tool. All right, now I'm being able to pick up on those centers. So it was glitching a little bit before. So, all right, right click confirm to get out of it. Now, we need to know, and we're going to do what is called an offset on this particular line. So we offset it, and it's going to come in with the tangency point where this line matches up. Now we could also draw a 45-degree line at this point too, to kind of find out there. Again, like I mentioned, there's several different ways that we can do this. So I'm going to use the offset tool. So here's the offset. Now the first thing in the offset tool it wants is to specify the distance. So what is that distance? Well, geometrically, that distance is going to be the same as the radius of that circle. So we know that that radius is 2.5. So I'm going to type in 2.5, hit enter, and then it wants to know the object that you want to offset. So in this case, I'm going to come over to this. We'll offset it that way. And I will click on this again, and we will offset it this way. Now I've got the lines, and I'm going to be able to use the endpoints and the intersection points to actually draw my object lines. So now I'm going to go back here to my, instead of drawing on the construction line, I want to go back and draw on my object line layer here. Go back to your lines and go from here to here. Now, notice how it also wants to pick up on that endpoint. You could draw to that endpoint and then you'd have to trim it out, but since I've got this and I've got my intersection object snap on there, I can just kind of draw to that and I don't have to trim. So we talk a lot about the efficiencies in your drawing. It's just going to save you a step so that you can get your drawings done faster. So I place that line, repeat. So I right click, repeat the last command, come back in here, click left click there, left click on that point, right click confirm or cancel to get out of the command. Now, I need to still trim this out. So if you recall, when we trimmed that arc out up here, we had the center lines going across and it kind of had to do 2 clicks. So if I come back over to my layers and I turn the lights out on my construction line layer, just so you can see this, and then I kind of come back now to my trim tool. Now it'll trim the whole thing out. So instead of just that point. So that is what the drawing should look like when it's done. Final step, come back to my layers. I do want to see those center lines, so let's turn the center line layer back on and close that. So we're good. So we've got that. I've already saved this as the name, so I just need to go and click save. So it will make sure to save all of your changes that you made to that drawing. So as soon as it's saved, I can go right back to the AutoCAD web to the main page. You'll see all of your drawings as you come through and get these taken care of. So notice right here's the pivot arm. I'm going to click and put a check mark in that box so I can see what I need. So here I got open, publish, rename, move, duplicate, delete. In this case, you're going to click the download. Remember, you're on the cloud, so everything is being saved in the cloud. So we need to make sure that you get this uploaded into your assignment on Canvas. So you're going to download this. In this case, when I click that, it downloads it directly to my download file folder on my computer. You can kind of make some changes to this. You can download, you can navigate to where you want it to download to, but you got to know where that's at so that you know where to go and get it to upload it. Of course, if you're in the AutoCAD lab at Richland, you'll download it to the desktop, and then you'll need to delete all of those off of the desktop as well. So that kind of concludes this drawing. Give it a try, get it submitted and turned in so I can take a look at it and give you some feedback on what you need and how you're doing.